Fill her up.
You're listening to the GaS Digital Network.
It's time for GaS Digital Now. Join producer Natalie and Blind Mike to learn what's going on behind the scenes of your favorite shows.
Hello and welcome to GaS Digital Now, fresh back from Cancun. It's your favorite wrap-up podcast hosts, Blind Mike and Natalie. I'm sunburnt. This is not from Body Brain Coffee. Don't let the forums tell you that.
It's true.
Check this out, guys. I'm so fucking sunburned.
It doesn't look that bad on camera. There's just like you can't really tell. There's a the back of your arms, you can see it, and then this part of your shoulder right here. He has a chain line. He did not take his chains off at the pool. You can see it in the back better. But right at his neck, you can see like that red line right there. There's a white line and then another red line. Yeah, right there. Yeah, you can see it. It's because he kept his chains on at the pool. No days off. Oh, where's he going?
No days off.
He's putting his shirt on. Welcome to GaS Digital Now, the GaS Digital wrap-up show. We talk about all the best moments that happened on the network this week. We usually start with some studio lore, but we also talk about our weekend a little sometimes.
Guess what happened at the studio? Fucking nothing.
Nothing. Everyone was gone. This was unintentional, but we had been asked to go to
Did
you do that thing? Did I just curse you? I just pinched my finger.
I hate you.
I just pinched my finger in the headphones.
She did that to me.
And I go, you ever do that? You ever pinch your finger in the headphones? And he goes, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. He just did it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put a hex on you.
You did. She keeps a doll. What do they call it?
A voodoo doll.
A voodoo doll of me.
I poked him I twisted him under the table.
I mean, how do you think I got blind? Someone took the buttons off my eyes.
Yeah, and then I ran into that person and we started dating. That's how we started dating.
True. Yeah, no one was here. Everyone's in Los Angeles. And so we had to go to Cancun to flex on them.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to one-up them, be like, we're going somewhere warmer with more beaches, and we don't even have to work.
And sweatier.
We're not even around the industry.
We were not around the industry. We
were around a couple of Gomez's, if you catch my
There were a lot of Gomez's there, absolutely. There was at least one of the people that like worked at one of the restaurants was Luis, Luis. Yeah, we were invited to a resort with my family to Cancun, Mexico. And we were supposed to stay for 4 days, and they were like, please stay an extra day. So we stayed for 5 days.
Yeah,
we both did a little bit of work while we were there. It was imperative that we confirm the Wi-Fi situation before we left. I did do one part of the problem from there. Mike did plenty of clips.
Oh, yeah.
But after work, you can just step out to the pool. We didn't actually go in the ocean at all because the ocean was stinky.
I found out it's because there is a certain type of seaweed that washes up on those shores that when it decomposes, it makes a sulfur smell.
And that's what it smelled like.
A fart carnival.
Literally smelled
carnival.
like a fart carnival. But yeah, we spent a lot of time at the pool. And you can just, it's all inclusive. So you could just go up to any bar and order whatever. You can go to the restaurants.
God. Let's talk about it.
Are we going to talk about
El Diablo.
Yeah, Mike got into some hijinks with my cousin.
El Diablo.
Are we going to talk about it in full?
We don't have to talk about it in full, but there's some highlights that need to be mentioned.
Yeah, second night.
So this was during the day.
We won't spend too much time on this. Don't worry.
This was during the day of what was supposed to be our last day in Mexico.
No, it was our first full day.
First full day.
So not the flight day, the next day.
It starts raining in the middle of the day, and I was hanging out with Natalie's cousin by the pool. We were listening to some rap. We were going over bars for bars, our favorite rap bars, just creating a nice vibe around the pool.
Right. Yeah, so...
What do you feel? How you have a different interpretation.
The two of them were drinking and being hooligans by the pool. under like an, like there's
Canopy.
a covered, seating area by the bar. My
And
other
everyone
cousin,
around us was loving it.
Well, so me and my cousin, who's my other cousin's sister, she and I went over to the two of them, and they were just playing. They were scaring
Kanye.
They were scaring the host. They were playing Kanye West.
We
Really,
were bringing the host.
they were
We'll
they were
get to
playing
it.
Kanye West out of a Bluetooth speaker way too loud around all these middle-aged white people who were like, we want to hear Keith Urban. We don't want to hear this Kanye West feller. And
right.
so we were like, you guys are being embarrassing. And we banter there for a little bit. The four of us do a shot together. And then
Me and him were doing a lot of tequila.
so
stuff.
my other cousin and I leave, and we leave the two boys at the pool. And I say to Mike, don't get too fucked up before dinner. We have a dinner, all of us have a dinner reservation, and it sucks being at a sit-down dinner too hammered.
Free. Let me point
all
out,
free.
Free. It's not like they had paid for my reservation or they were buying me dinner and I had.
No, it was that we paid per day, per diem, for an all-inclusive resort. So Mike and I each paid for our own way.
Yeah.
And
I spent it how I wanted to spend it.
yeah, exactly. You get it all inclusive while you're there. So we had a dinner reservation to one of the restaurants, and I go, don't get too fucked up before dinner, and he goes, right, got it. And then I leave, and I go back to the room, and an hour later I get a text from my cousin being like, don't be mad. I go, let me guess, you gave Mike more shots? He's like, I got Mike super drunk. I go, well, you guys are sharing a bed later in that case because Mike's gonna yarf. And so then I get a call from Mike on the floor in a pool bathroom in the middle of the day.
Being like, Nat, help, I can't get up.
Help me, I can't get up. And I go, where's AJ? He goes, I don't know. I go, all right, I'm going to kick his ass. Hold on. I mean, I'm going to kick your ass too, but I was mad at both of them. And so
It had started raining at this point.
It had
by the
started
way.
raining.
It was pouring rain.
Yeah,
so there was nothing else
Bella
to do.
and I left in the pouring rain.
The only thing we could do was drink also because we couldn't go in the pool.
That's also why I had to leave when I did when they were being too rowdy. I'm like, all these people are trapped under here with your choice of music. And then I call my cousin. I go, where's AJ? He goes, I don't know. I go, all right, I'll call him. And so I FaceTime him because the Wi-Fi is good, but the cell service is not good. And I call my cousin, and someone's hot MILF answers the phone.
We had met, so for context, we had met three middle-aged, I wouldn't call them cougars. We wouldn't go that far, but like 40-year-old women.
They still could be MILFs.
And the MILF is for sure the word. And they're from Minnesota, and they say... So
I forgot I met them later.
So I was walking by to go to the bar, and one of them was like, yo, you should run under the water. And she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That'd be crazy. And I'm like, yo, I just butted in the conversation. I was like, I'll pay you $20 right now, Venmo, if you can run under that water.
And she does it.
And so she did it. And then they were like, where's the $20? And I was like, I have to, my Venmo was not working. Like, I kept trying to scan it. I was going to give her $20 and it kept, but it wouldn't load her profile.
He sent her like $200 in his drunken state.
True.
Anyway.
So these are the women. So I actually was the one who even got AJ in to talk to these MILFs.
My cousin had one
not AJ.
MILF around
EJ.
around each arm. So I FaceTime him to tell him to go find Mike, and someone's hot mom answers the phone. I go, hi, is AJ there? And she goes, he told me to answer this. What, are we protecting his identity or something?
Protect it, as LP Burke would say, protecting the names of the guilty.
Yeah. She goes, he told me to answer. I go, he's right, because he's in trouble. I go, put him on. And so I tell him to get Mike, and he goes, on it. He's also fucked up. He goes, right, on it.
So right before I had gone to the bathroom, there was this guy who was like talking to me.
Talking at you, allegedly.
He was like telling me about how he's like a life coach and like, he does these courses and whatnot. And then I had to be like, that's cool. I have to go to the bathroom right now. And so I like ran to the bathroom because I could tell that I was getting like dizzy.
Yeah.
Like I was going to pass out.
Right.
So like I went to the bathroom, and then so AJ comes to get me from the bathroom. He picks me up, and I was like, you got to help me walk. Like I can't, like I can barely stand. He was like, all right. He sits me down. This fucking guy is like, so anyway, yeah, so like I coach people, and like it's $3,000 a course, and AJ was like, no, man, you're good. We got this. Like it's all good. You can go. And he was like, no, but you don't understand. Like I'm actually like, if you need any training, and AJ's like, yeah, but you're good though.
Bring
like,
down Mike's
good.
microphone for this next part.
He was like, you're good though. And the guy just like kept talking, and AJ's like, I'm not gonna fight him, but I don't know how else to tell him to like go away, because he's not even addressing the fact that I can't stand up. He's just in his own thing.
Yeah.
And he won't shut up.
He's in
like,
marketing mode.
He literally cannot see past himself.
Yeah.
He's just talking at us, and then I, sitting down, almost blackout drunk, go, shut up! Who fucking cares, dude? Go away! I just shouted "shut up" at the top of my lungs, and eventually he was still trying to talk. We're like, go away.
Imagine Blind Mike is he screaming at you to shut the fuck up, and you're still going. You're still pitching. He's like Tom Final Boss.
But anyway, that was I eventually recovered and had a great weekend.
That's the end of that story.
What else was it?
AJ brings Mike back to the room.
Yeah.
And I go, all right, you're just going to sleep it off for a while. It's like getting close to dinner time. It's like, I don't know, 5 o'clock at this point. We were eating at 7.
I barely remember this part.
And so he like goes and lays down, and then me and my cousins are hanging out, and then Mike just comes out and is still like part of, even though he's like wobbling back and forth, he's like hanging out with us.
Don't remember this.
And so then he goes back to the bathroom and proceeds to yarf for like an hour. He's like sat on floor in our bathroom barfing. At one point I send him, he like goes back into the room. I'm still in the living room, and I come by, and he says, if you like, you know how it looks like when I floor my cat? You know how she'll be standing, and I just like gently push her so that she's on her side. That's how it looked like you were. You were on the floor in the bathroom on your back, and you were like, I can't get up. And I was like, all right, you got it. You can sit. I forgot I asked Jorge to get me a coffee. Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you, Serafina.
Yeah. Oh, did he shake it? That would have been so mean if he brought me a coffee, but he shook it first.
We got canned coffee here?
No, he went to the store.
Oh, that's very
He was getting
kind.
beers for HSR.
Thanks, Jorge.
So Mike barfs for a while, and then we're getting ready to leave for dinner, and I'm wrapping on this story soon. He apologizes to my aunt and uncle, who have not been affected by this like at all, like only heard about it. And he's like, I can make it to dinner. And we're like, are you kidding? No, you're not going anywhere. He's like, well, what time is it? And we're like, 6 o'clock. He's like, 6 o'clock? Where'd my day go? He's like, I can sit at dinner. I barfed already. It's fine.
I don't remember this. I was still blackout drunk.
Yeah. And so we're like, no, you're not. And we're like, he's like, what kind of food? We're like, it's Mediterranean food. He's like, I don't give a shit about that. And so I go, stay here and we'll meet up. And then Mike took a hard nap for like 3 hours, and he was great for the rest of the weekend. And I had to threaten him. And then we do meet those hot broads at like a party later.
Yeah. But so when he was feeding me all these shots right before I got blackout drunk, I look at the bartender and I point at him, because it's a Mexican bartender, and I go, El Diablo, El Diablo. And the bartender's like, yeah, haha, here's your shot.
Yeah.
And so I take the shot. But so for the rest of the weekend, anytime that like he tried to get me to drink, we would go, El Diablo.
Later when there's like music in the lobby after this, Mike is still sleeping in the room. My cousin had also been so drunk that he no-showed dinner. He was hitting on this chick too hard, and he lost track of time, and then he went for dinner by himself. Fucked up. We ran into him. I'm not going to talk about that guy, but
the lawyer.
Yeah, that guy was pretty cool, but they don't really care.
I know.
My aunt is giving him a stern talking to later, and she's like, ultimately it's Mike's problem. Like, he's a grown man. He can say no to a shot. He goes, but because my cousin is way bigger than Mike.
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
she's like, you gotta remember, Mike is way smaller than you. She's like, think of like a bottle of like aspirin, right? It's like, and they have the scale on the back. It's like, here's how much you would give a 6-year-old. It's like, well, Mike is like the 6-year-old. And my cousin goes, how much tequila would you give a 6-year-old? And me and her both go, less than you gave him, at least. Whatever you gave him was too much. So anyway, what was your favorite beverage that you had all weekend, or food? And then we can wrap on that and we can move on to actual shit people care about.
Pina colada, hands down. But there were some bartenders that were better than others.
Agreed.
The one that we had on the last full day at the Infinity, not the Infinity, but that pool,
that other pool,
that bar, they made it perfect where it's like a slushy more. Because the one I had at that other bar was literally they just put ice. And it looked like they didn't even mix it in the fucking...
I agree. In the blender.
Thing. Yeah. But what else is my favorite? It was weird. They only had Tecate, Superior, and Dos Equis. They had
no Corona.
Else.
And no non-Mexican... I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't have non-Mexican beer, but they would
obviously had
Corona,
to deal with it.
Or Modelo.
Whatever, like Diageo or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That they could only serve those brands.
I would say that probably favorite drink I had. One day in the middle of the day, I had a virgin pina colada because I'm like, I don't want to get fucked up too early. And that was delicious. And people did clown me.
Oh, yeah, they did clown you.
But then
virgin.
The other favorite thing I got a regular daiquiri, like a plain daiquiri on the first night, and it was delicious.
My least favorite was the michelada. Did not like.
Yeah, I don't like a michelada. I don't like tomato juice, but this didn't have tomato juice. There's apparently a lot of ways you can make it.
Whatever mulled wine is, that's what I imagine this tastes like.
I like mulled wine.
I don't know.
It was sweet?
I'm making it up. No.
Oh, then it doesn't taste like mulled wine.
Okay, whatever. What else?
We can move on.
There was something else that I know we're supposed to wrap up Mexico talk, but I thought there was something else. Oh, Ren.
Ren. You can talk about Ren. I don't think this is as funny as you think it is. Dom, do you know who Ren is? The artist? He's a rapper.
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, neither did I.
I feel like Dom would be like, yo, hi, I'm Ren is my shit.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we were in the pool and we were talking about like best whitest rappers because her cousin thinks it's Action Bronson for some reason, and I had to explain to him why it was Eminem.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, Nat's uncle comes out and is like, actually, my favorite is this guy named Ren. I'm like, who the fuck is Ren?
He's like, he's this British guy, British rapper,
So
up and coming guy.
We played his music, and it's like if NF was British and had zero talent. It was so bad. He was like, hi, I'm Ren. I'm now, and then I'm then. And then I go on a boat and I go in my moat. It was like weird shit like that.
He was obviously very skilled as a rapper. He was very clearly very skilled as a rapper. And the one that we heard, it's just hard to get past the accent.
No, it was not. It was not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me and AJ kept going back and forth being like, yo, I'd rather listen to Russ than this. I'd rather listen to Logic.
That's funny.
I'd rather listen to Riff Raff.
I don't know.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
I think we should probably move on unless you have any like high level shit. No. That's all the studio lore, guys.
Yeah.
Dom covered part of the problem when we were flying back, and I appreciate that.
Oh, the GaS Digital Instagram is back. So
win for us.
Follow at GaS Digital on Instagram, and also Cabo video going to be up very shortly. We're working out some copyright issues. We're in the right, but we just have to.
Yeah, Mike has some music from like a music provider that he has the license for, that just hasn't cleared.
Once it's figured out, it will be up, and Nat says it's a doozy.
Some of Mike's best work, I will say. A good amount of time spent on everybody.
We can move on.
Yeah.
So first thing up, I know it's not a network show, but we did get a pretty cool tease from Ari Shamir on Protect Our Parks. So just for context, Protect Our Parks has been, it's Ari Shamir, Shane Gillis, and Mark Normand on Joe Rogan Experience. It's kind of like the the MMA episodes that Joe Rogan does, but for comedy, where it's just these guys.
You think anyone who watches the show doesn't know what Protect Our Parks is?
I don't know, but regardless, they haven't actually done one in like maybe at least 6 months or something.
Yeah,
because Ari was in fucking Cambodia or whatever,
and it's Ari, Joe Rogan, Shane and.
Yeah, see, you were like,
Soder?
oh, well, everyone knows that. Wait, Soder's in it?
They're not me.
You just said everyone knew it.
I'm a clown. I'm just saying that, like, anyone who watches GaS Digital
crazy.
Now.
Can we acknowledge that was crazy?
Anyone who watches GaS Digital Now, I assume it is so out of comedy podcast content that they had to come to this show.
You work at GaS Digital. This is your industry.
But it's not a GaS show. Also, I would never listen to Joe Rogan. I don't have the time.
Comedy podcasting is your industry. That's being like, wait, what's Johnny Carson in the 80s?
I just forgot who the fourth guy was. It's Dan Soder?
No, it's Norman, Gillis, and Shafir. This is crazy.
You see, I'm the main character asking all the stupid plot-moving questions so that the audience doesn't have to ask.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so Ari Shamir teased that he's not actually moving to England anymore, and he's going to stay on as co-host of Legion of Skanks now that Dave's gone. This is unconfirmed rumors, but he did lead very heavily implied.
I'm stealing this take from Jorge, but it must be said. No one can ever trust anything that Ari says in public.
Yeah, but
it could always be a bit.
He's a Jew. He loves money. Why would he give up that money?
Yeah, all that Legion of Skanks
It is money. It pays your rent.
I know. No, it doesn't. Part of the problem pays my rent. Part of the problem pays my rent.
Dave Smith leaving pays your rent.
Dave Smith leaving is paying my
Literally
rent.
the opposite.
The opposite. Yeah. Yeah, someone who jumped ship is paying my rent currently. Yeah, so I would not get too hopeful because anything Ari does or says in front of a camera could be a bit. It just always could be.
Yeah,
but what if Lewis said it?
If Lewis said it, I would be more inclined.
He said it on a Instagram Q&A like a week ago, not even. That he changed his plans and isn't moving back to England.
Ooh. All right. Soft confirm. I would call that a soft confirm.
And also, it's the biggest, like, of all of the Rogan episodes, if Ari had said it, because Ari also did his own Rogan episode, didn't bring it up once. Mm-hmm. He did he did say, I think it was either the same day or a few days apart, Ari recorded his own Rogan and then did Protect Our Parks. Didn't bring it up at all. So that's why I feel like it's not a bit.
Okay.
Because it came up organically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, so the other thing for the episode that was pretty funny was they released some never before seen footage from the Legion of Skanks election.
Cool.
Ari Shamir had a ticket with DeRosa.
Okay.
And Shane Gillis was also on his ticket. And Lewis there was something where like actors were like singing some kind of song for the pandemic.
Okay.
As you do. I forget
We Are the
what
World
it was.
or whatever.
Whatever it was, Lewis wanted to...
Imagine.
I think that's what it was.
Imagine.
And so Lewis wanted to do a version of that where they did Down with the Sickness by Disturbed.
That's funny.
And so Shane, I think Shane and Ari as a bit were trying to do it, and then Shane was going to be like, look at these dork losers, and he was going to turn on Ari.
Okay.
So Shane made Ari and DeRosa film them genuinely singing Down with the Sickness, and they showed the video on Protect Our Parks.
That's
and it's very funny,
great.
and they're making fun of how silly it was.
I love that.
And I'm not allowed to talk about anything else because it's technically not a network show. But
We've spent our allotted maximum time on a non-network show.
hey, listen, Rogan said on the episode with Lewis, he was like, he said it before, and he repeated it on the one with Lewis about how great of an idea he thinks GaS Digital is.
Yeah.
How he's like, it's so good for your audience to have like
Like safe space.
Kind of, but he's like, just you don't have to deal with contracts or like anything, and it's a good space for artists to not have to deal with like, the industry and stuff. And yeah, he's been praising us recently.
Yeah, so if you're a successful comic and you want to have a podcast, you should hit them up. Hit us up. Me and Mike are the people that yay or nay all shows.
We're looking for a flagship. So
yeah.
If anyone famous is listening, Matt
know.
Rife, I know you're out there.
I know you're listening.
And speaking of Matt Rife, let's talk about it. Legion of Skanks from LA, Tim Dillon, John Goblikon. Do you know who John Goblikon is?
No, I don't.
He is the guy that Zach mentioned when Ian was on Zoo that sounds like him and does a very similar act that has like a goblin face.
Yes.
That guy.
Yes.
And he's in like a band or something.
That all sounds familiar to me.
Yes. Which is very funny because if you do look it up, they sound the same.
They do sound the same.
As Zach said, their act is both, mustaches. Anyway, so Tim Dillon, after canceling in New York, shows up in LA, and it was a great program. Well, Tim's also in New York now.
He lives in New York?
I think so.
Oh, no shit.
Or at least his studio's based in New York.
Damn, I didn't know that.
But he was going out there for the festival.
Right.
And so first thing they talked about was the Matt Rife.
Okay.
And how Jay tried to book him for Story Wars, and Matt Rife goes, "Oh man, I would love to do it. I got a lot of stuff going. I'm very busy during that time, but I will be there during those exact days and hours that it's happening. So we should catch up."
Hilarious.
And Jay is like, "I met Matt Rife 2 times. What are we gonna catch up about?"
Yeah.
And Lewis was like, "Yeah, what are his stories going to be? On Story Wars, one time I drowned in pussy so hard that another girl had to save me from drowning in pussy." And then John Goblikon goes, "Yeah," or no, they were like, he has John Goblikon's cheekbones.
No, Goblikon has the same cheekbones as Matt Rife.
Yeah. The other thing from that episode that I do want to bring up was, so Spirit Airlines, while we were in Cancun,
that was wild. I was drunk when I found that out.
Went out of business mid-flight.
Yeah, mid-flight. Everyone on that flight had to jump out and parachute. I found out drunk and then remembered the next day and was like, why does that always happen to me? That happened to me when what's-his-name died from Friends. It was like Halloween, and I was drunk, and then the next day I was like...
Yeah, that was Michael Richards.
No, close.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah, Matthew Perry. And then the next day I was like, Matthew Perry died? And they're like, yeah, we talked about this yesterday. That's what happened with Spirit Airlines.
Jason Alexander.
I was drunk in a pool, and then the next morning they were like, I was like, Spirit Airlines closed. Damn. I was like, how could that be? And then I'm like, well, they are the butt of every single joke about an airline being shitty. So I guess it's not that much of a
the famous Yamanika
surprise.
clip from Godfrey.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they decided to do a tribute to Spirit Airlines that we cannot cut in.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of...
people dying? Or bad words?
There was one where like a woman gives head...
Cool.
There's like
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
There's like a baby that goes through a conveyor belt. It's like there's a lot happening. But so Tim Dillon was reacting to it, and they asked him if he'd ever flown, and he had a very funny Spirit Airlines experience. He was like, the one and only time that I went on, and this you could cut in. He was like, I was sitting there, and the pilot literally had to say, guys, in order for us to fly the plane, everybody has to sit in their seats. He was like, he was like, the pilot has to explain. The pilot had to explain everything. He was like, we have to taxi, and we have to get on the runway.
The pilot had to get on the loudspeaker and says, we cannot take off unless you sit down. I'm asking you, like the pilot said literally word for word, he goes, I am asking you, please, to sit in your seat so I can put the plane on the runway. He had to explain to them. He goes, we have to put it on the runway and taxi and then take off.
He was like, also, I'm not doing it justice. Everyone in the comments is going to be like, Mike trying too hard to repeat a bit is the worst podcasting
Do
ever.
a Tim
But
Dillon
I'm
impression
setting it
real
up.
quick.
And then, so we're on the plane and we're landing. And you know how usually when the pilot like lands the plane, he goes, you know, welcome to Atlanta or Chicago. He gets on the speaker. He gets on the loudspeaker and he goes, we're here. And I was like, oh, well, all right. Yeah, guess we're here. I can't do it.
I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's not your best. Now you're turning into Tom.
Why were you on the plane? Why are you standing on the plane?
Everyone in the chat rate Mike's Tim Dillon impression.
Yeah.
He has much better impressions, so I'm not going to give it that high, but you can tell who it is.
Why were you on the plane? I don't know.
It's funny when Tim Dillon does Joe Rogan, because that's also what it sounds like.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no, you're right.
Protect our parks, man.
That's
what Ari Shamir, man.
That's a really good Tim Dillon doing Joe Rogan impression. All right. Anyway.
Keto, man.
I have done Spirit Airlines one time, and I just don't like that you don't get a seat until you get there.
Yeah.
That it's like first come,
Well, I don't
first serve.
care about that.
Yeah, Mike would prefer that.
Honestly, I like the Russian roulette aspect of
Although
it.
Mike got a whole row to himself yesterday.
Players.
Yeah.
Players recognize players.
And I just let him have it. I went, we've spent plenty of time together this week. Let's
Yeah, it was her decision.
Huh?
She wears the pants in the relationship.
If I came over, would you have been like, no, fuck you, bitch, get back to your assigned seat?
Probably.
No fucking way.
I didn't invite you over.
No, but I didn't try either.
So who's wearing the pants?
We each wear one leg. We each have one leg. The pants are way too big.
I peed in them because I was blackout drunk.
Yeah. But yeah, I just didn't like the fact that you don't get assigned seats. That kind of sucks.
We flew Spirit, Dom. We flew Spirit to Skankfest.
Together.
Yeah, it sucked.
Dom's like, good riddance, right in hell, bitch.
Hell yeah, Dom.
But yeah,
Dom.
that's on that, I guess. Unless you have anything else from that episode.
It was very core values.
Yeah.
I will say that. They had a very fun hypothetical that we don't have to answer.
Okay,
but
I would like to hear it anyway.
The hypothetical was, if you are a bigoted predator, is the words I'll use.
Okay.
If you catch my drift.
Sure.
Would you want to harm white children or black children?
Probably white children, because you're not thinking about. I don't think predators do it to cause terror. I think they're trying to scratch an itch of themselves.
Sure, but if you're bigoted, you don't want to hurt the white children. So
no, it's not. I don't think it's like that at all. I think they're like, ew, I would not touch those other children.
I know. That's what I was thinking the entire time, where I'm like, they don't.
They're not.
They don't care that they're harming them.
Exactly.
That's why they're like that.
Yeah.
If they actually felt, if they were actually predator, if they were
feeling empathy,
they wouldn't be predators. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wow, I really butchered every single word of that sentence. That was
sorry to walk over you. Someone had to step in.
That was I would say that's a flat tire. And speaking of flat tires, this week on the Regz.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So it's been a reoccurring topic of discussion, right? That back during the YKWd days, Bobby had ads on the show and did not share any of the ad revenue with the other three Regz, even though they were regulars on the show back then.
That's been an ongoing bit for 3 years. Like, that was a bit when I worked on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was the producer there, it was like, Bobby never gave us any of that ad money. He's like, I did.
You know what?
We didn't take any money. I didn't get any money. He's turning into Bill Burr.
They pulled the receipts up.
Ooh.
So there was someone reached out to Soder and put together a compilation of the ads they did. You remember this one? Do you remember Gamefly?
No, I don't.
The Netflix of video games. Dom, do you remember Gamefly?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I remember.
They used to have commercials on Disney XD.
Really?
Like,
That's
rent
funny.
a video game for a weekend or a week. And
Makes
then give
sense.
it back.
And it was like an internet service.
Right.
So they did ads for that. They did ads for Adam and Eve. And then the big one
Does Adam and Eve still exist? They were so dominant for so long.
So
I'm sorry. What was the third one you said?
the first argument that Bobby made was there was another one called Yowza Fitness. And Yowza Fitness, Bobby defended saying, that wasn't actually an ad that I got paid for. That was a product. That was a fitness company sending me a discounted treadmill if I shouted them out on the show.
Right.
And so they were, and Joe List was like, yeah, treadmill, or as Bobby calls it, a dust collector. And then they were like, yeah, Bobby's like using it as a conveyor belt for chocolate like I Love Lucy.
That's good.
And then once the receipts started coming out more, where it was kind of indefensible, he goes, well, look, I had to pay my producer and I had to pretend. His other argument was crazy. He said, I had to pretend like we got ads so that I could get ads. It's like, well, then you had ads, Bob.
Yeah,
give
that
him
only,
the money.
That only works for the first
You said
episode.
you didn't have ads.
Yeah, if you do one fake ad for the first episode and then people start piling in, there's no way that lasted more than a week.
Yeah, eventually.
Before real ones started piling in.
So his argument kind of crumbled.
Ooh, this is like Maury. This is like, what's that other show where you confront the baby daddy or whatever?
Jerry Springer.
Yeah, this is like a Jerry Springer moment where it's like, we have the receipts. You said this to this person. What do you have to say for yourself? Wild.
Joe List throws a chair into the wall like Steve Wilkos. The other thing from the Regz that was pretty funny was, so Joe List towards the end of the episode goes, we should all go around and say what our favorite, most underrated thing about each other is.
Okay.
And so Dan goes first, and he's like, Joe, I think you're one of the most underrated comics ever. Like, I think, like, people don't give you your flowers, but they will.
Yeah.
Bobby, you're the most underrated friend, where, like, you're always supportive and you always give me a call to talk, not comedy related, just to talk about life.
Yeah.
And everything, and you're very supportive. Lewis, what did he say about Lewis? I forget.
But it was nice. It was genuine.
Yeah, and Joe List said for Lewis, he was like, you're the best at being like a straight guy. Like, you're good at taking the punches.
Yeah.
And like having a very thick skin in comedy.
Right. I agree.
And they were like, Lewis, you go. And he was like, Dan is completely rated. You know, people completely accurately represent him.
Who said that?
Lewis. He's like, Dan, no one's wrong about him. You know, whatever they say about him is he's just as funny as you think he is.
Equally as funny.
He's just the same person as everyone talks about. No better, no worse.
Wow.
And then he was like, in Bobby, let me come back to Bobby. Joe, and Bobby was like, hold on. You can't just skip me. And so Lewis was like, well, I just need to think about what I want to say. He's like, no. You didn't have to go second if you're going to skip me. He could have gone fourth. So now you have to do me because that work, it looks worse if you don't.
Underrated. I think that Bobby is...
Jesus Christ, Lewis. I mean, you could just make something up.
Or maybe not go second.
Yeah.
Joe.
I mean,
you could have just waited till you were fourth and been okay about it.
And so Lewis was like, all right, Bobby, you're underrated cunt. And he was like, you're always under my skin. No one knows what it's like to deal with you in real life. You're a real cunt sometimes. And they're like, whoa.
That's funny as fuck.
And then he was like, Joe, you're one of the most underrated comics. And then Dan was like, no, it's mine. And so they were like, you were awful at that game. They were like, yeah, you just called Dan completely rated and called Bobby the C word,
rated
and then stole
not a compliment.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So Lewis couldn't give a compliment.
Yeah, that although he's not, he's not bad at that. That's not a thing he's bad at normally.
Yeah.
That's so funny. He just was. We think it was a bit to be funny.
He just couldn't think of one, so he was like, "What's the funniest thing to do in this situation?"
Is to completely go heel.
But they were right. Just go forth.
Yeah, go forth. Yeah, give it time to think about it. Rose thorn seed type shit.
Yeah, I always do that. When like if it's a situation where it's like I'm trying to think of a good one, but like one of those drinking games where you do that. I always try to like sit in the pocket a bit.
Yeah. Like a
Mafia. Mafia is a great example where I try to think of my argument first before I open my dumb mouth.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, he's Mafia, get him out. And then I'm like, I have a 4.
That is how it is for me as well.
But yeah, so that was the Regz this week. It was very funny.
I love it.
Do you have a show?
I have 2 shows.
Sorry, I've been yapping, fellas.
It's okay. I like it.
Chat, please forgive. I'm annoyed.
No, he's leading the ship. I like it. You want to do No Need or TTI?
No Need. I didn't even look at this question.
All right. No Need was Gordon Baker Bone. Classic. Almost like a family episode.
JC Legend.
Yeah, they called him like the comedy leader of New Jersey or something like that at the very top.
Now that Nate Marshall left.
Rip Nate Marshall. He's dead. To us.
Unc Marshall.
They were clowning people that go to the gym and go for a run at night, which is something that we both do.
While I did do it here, that actually started with me and Matt when I went to college at LaSalle.
Going to the gym at night.
He would give me like 3 hits of a dab, 3 hits off the tab rig. We would get completely zooted off of dabs. And then his building, his like off-campus housing had like a gym, and he would bring a JBL, and we would just work out for like 45 minutes, high out of our minds, listening to rap.
10 p.m.
At 10 p.m., yeah.
I just like running at night in the summer because it's not hot out. I don't wake up early. Or nowadays, I do wake up early, but I don't wake up early enough for it to not already be hot out in the summer. I'm not like a 6 a.m. person.
You used to go to the track and do that with your friends.
At night, yeah. Me and my friends used to run at the track at night. But basically in the episode, they're like, what kind of demons are you running from that at 9 p.m. you're running? And
there's no one at the gym. It's the best time to go. And there's no one there.
Derek was like, you're addicted to pussy if you're doing that. You're like, I got to run away from like some chick I want to be banging right now.
The only people that run like that at night are sex addicts. Those are the only ones. Yeah. They got to run off that, I want to go fuck this whole, but I'm trying to be better.
Yeah. Well, it would be dick, but they didn't want to say that because it's homophobic.
You're saying gay guys run?
No, closeted gay guys.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That makes a lot of sense.
That means Mateo Lane is secretly straight because he's jacked. He's running away from pussy. Mateo Lane is like, I can't think about all of the trim I could get. I'm stuck with dude ass. Let me get these shoulder presses out.
Takes that no one has said ever. I just was a little offended by that. I'm like, you guys can't think of any, like, I don't think it's that weird to go to work out at night, especially in the summer, if it's outside.
Yeah. What else were they saying about it?
That was kind of all that they just clowned it for being like, you're hiding from something.
No, he just used to be chubby and he's trying to get his life in order.
Yeah.
I bet he looks skinny.
Who?
Gordon.
Gordon's looking good.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a chin. Call his ass out. But.
He wasn't the one who said he was working out. He was also clowning people for working out at night.
Oh.
No, No, they just in general were laughing at because maybe it wasn't related to this, but
also Dave I know Dave
during the
like
day.
4 in the morning.
But 4 in the morning.
And he used to do prison workouts at Maria Hernandez Park in Brooklyn in
for him,
front of
that's
other
the morning.
people shirtless. That's way crazier than running at night.
They're not
Dave,
saying it's gay.
I'm calling your ass out.
They're not saying it's gay.
No, but he's running from what is he running from?
I don't know, but 4 a.m. is his morning. He's waking up and running at 4 a.m.
It's still just as crazy as 9 p.m. He's shirtless in a park.
I agree.
Yelling at Ian Fidance for crying.
I think these are different things.
No, there was one time where right after a breakup, they told Ian to come work out with them in the park, and Ian just cried the whole time because he was still thinking about his ex.
I remember that. I wasn't there to clarify,
that's
but I
what
heard
it could
about
be.
it.
So maybe that's what they're thinking of is the
Maybe.
Ian thing, and they're like, now, every white motherfucker is just crying while they work out, and they're running from their breakup.
You don't have to answer this one if you don't have an answer, but Gordon was like, people ask you what you want to be when you, like, what you want to do when you grow up, but no one ever asks you, like, what kind of black man you want to be when you grow up. And he was talking about how his goal is to have a backyard. And he's like, but I don't want to be one of those old black men in a linen suit.
Yeah, I see him being a TK Kirkland type.
Oh, interesting. Wait,
You know what I
sorry,
mean?
remind me what that is.
Like, TK Kirkland is a legendary guest from Godfrey. Where
Yes.
He's like Homeowners Association, but I still got my Timbs and I drive a
Right.
Trackhawk.
Right, exactly.
Like-
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
he's still gonna
Association.
drive the Dodge Charger, but it's going to be in a pristine neighborhood.
Right, exactly. That does seem to sort of be what Gordon was saying on this.
No, linen suit that's like
They're like, you got to be barefoot in a linen suit, and no one wants to see you barefoot. And they were talking about LeBron James, I think, having fucked up feet and being barefoot on a beach in a linen suit. And they're like, hide your feet.
yeah. No, this is what I'm talking about is like black guy that wears dog tags
Right.
and like a T-shirt that they got running a marathon.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
all I had.
Yeah,
for no
linen
need.
suit is it only works with those hats, the
Panama hat.
fedora, yes,
Yeah.
the white ones with the little belt on it. Or
Right, but
whatever.
they were saying that
it's got to be Michael Jackson or that's it.
they were saying that you can't be like in socks in a linen suit. It
no,
has to be barefoot.
yeah, it's got to
So
be
you gotta
like
have your feet right.
sensual.
Yeah.
It's got to be like an R. Kelly music video.
Yeah, that's all I had for no need. I have TTI, but you had one more, didn't you?
Not really.
What was it?
It was just like a reserve for rap if we ran out of time. I
Okay,
think
that's
we're
fine. Well, I'll
cooking.
get to TTI first. First, I want to talk about it was Reggie, right?
Yes. NNFA, a friend of the show,
Yeah.
the one who created Black Air Force One Energy.
True.
He was the one who was on that episode when they made the movement
Yes.
to change the narrative. Of
That was
Black
before
Air
my
Force
time,
Ones.
but the influence is still there.
Yeah, Reggie did that. He was also a Madhouse.
Yes.
And he did something interesting on Madhouse where he turned the questions on Maddie. He was like, "Well,
How do you feel about
what's your psychological thing?"
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
So first they were actually, hold on, I want to talk about this first. Figs tells a story that's so fucking bonkers. Where Figs is like, sometimes, I don't remember how it came up, but he was like, yeah, I always feel guilty about giving a fake name or like a fake phone number.
Because Reggie had alluded to the Yamanika story where he got stabbed by Yamanika and he went to the hospital under a fake name, but he
Fake
didn't
name.
say it was Yamanika. But if you know the story, you know that's what he was talking about because he didn't say his name because he didn't want to get his friends in trouble.
Right.
But yeah, he went to the ER with stab wounds and put in a fake name.
Yeah. But I don't remember how that came up is the point I'm making. It was just like giving fake names or remembering phone numbers or something.
That's the context. I'm telling you.
Oh, he started with that.
Yeah, that's what led to
Got
the
it.
conversation.
Sorry. And Figs is like, yeah, recently I called the cops on these guys that were being loud and rowdy at 2 a.m. in my neighborhood, and I gave a fake name, and I gave a phone number that was one number off from mine, and I waited, and then they showed up, and then he sprinkles in, and they're like, what did you tell them? And he was like, I told them that these guys were fighting each other and there was blood on the ground. And he's like, get here immediately. There's violence. He just got up from this fight and there's blood.
I was like, he's wearing a gray tracksuit. One guy has a red hat on. I was giving full description. She was like, are they still fighting? I'm like, no, the one guy got up and he's walking away. The man is on the floor. I think I see blood. I was bullshitting. When they
And I'm like, what? He's like, and it was these 2 Mexican dudes that live in my neighborhood. I'm like, what, bro? And then he hung up and he just like didn't get a call back from them because he gave a fake number. But he said that they showed up and it was fine. And he was like, these 2 Mexican dudes. I'm like, what if they came out guns? Like, what if these guys got shot?
Yeah.
Because you said that they were being violent and some cops showed up with guns drawn.
Right.
You know, or deported them.
Yeah. Well, Figs would have liked that.
Yeah, Figs fake. He leans on his white side.
Yeah, Karen Figs.
Literally Karen. I just think it's crazy. Like, I don't think it's crazy to give a fake name in that context.
I understand that the police won't really show up for a noise complaint, but there's other ways that's actually a good bit for the show. Coming up with the other, besides that fight, what else could he call in with?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was thinking more like, you could just be like, hey, there was, I heard a gunshot, or, oh, that would be worse. That would definitely cause them to be guns drawn. I don't know. That is a good question. That's a good question. Also, like, Figs, get some noise canceling headphones, dog. Like,
he could have said there was a fight. He didn't have to specify there was blood. I think they would have called.
I agree. I think it was these guys were being violent. They were fighting each other physically with fists. And I'm worried, or whatever. Or
say that your situation, say you saw them like casing out of, hey, these guys are suspicious. I think I overheard them planning on robbing this place.
Sure.
Next door. I think they plan on doing like a smash and grab of whatever. There's got to be a jewelry store, so it's the Bronx.
Right. Right.
Be like, they're gonna do, like, I don't know, just be like, yeah, there's a suspicious vehicle, suspicious a lot.
Yeah, say the word
suspicious,
say
something.
Yeah.
See something, say something, That'll get them to show up.
They were shocked. They were acting like taking 20 minutes to show up was a long time. I feel like that's very impressive timing for cops to show up.
For the Bronx, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying is like, I don't know.
Naeem said that in Philly, they don't even come for car crashes anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the ambulance will
unless someone's like dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fuck. Yeah, someone broke into my car and they made me sit for 2 hours in the cold.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And then didn't do anything.
Not looking good.
No, this was like a year and a half ago though.
But hey, the aliens are here.
Yeah.
So.
This was a year and a half ago.
We live in a police state where the police are extremely violent, but yet they don't show up for the crimes of other things. But the aliens are here.
The aliens are here. Yeah, you'll get arrested for jumping the turnstile, but no one will show up if you like are getting beat in the subway.
True.
I'm being facetious. I have no idea.
What was that guy's name?
What guy?
The guy, like, the Michael Jackson impersonator or whatever that guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway,
the other thing was, what else did I have for TTI? They were talking about fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Oh yeah,
bro, what happened? There's no way you have that many years.
There's no way you have that many ears.
I'm writing down Mike Thumb. Although you were naked at the beginning of the episode, so maybe I'll use that as a thumbnail.
El Diablo.
I hated that. Have you ever been in like a fight or flight situation where you froze or you fought?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one recently.
I've definitely had situations where I worked in a like a jewelry store in Boston. There's 2 times that I can think of where someone stole something and I like didn't confront them, even though I could have, even though I saw them stealing. There was one where I stopped the guy and he would have got more because he didn't think anyone was watching. I was just like over to the side, like organizing shit.
I am a freeze, by the way.
I'm also a freeze. I think most people are free. And they were they were discussing what the evolutionary advantages of freezing. I think that's a more modern thing. That like, since most of us are not confronting real physical danger all that often, that like, freezing is just a result of not having to make that decision very often. It's more of a learned behavior, which is like,
Yes.
I don't know I don't have experience.
You know what it is?
In my Rolodex of like what to do in this situation.
You know what it is? It's like an old computer like trying to open a file,
right?
And it's taking a really long time because you're trying to open the file of your instincts, of like your most like your most like primitive instincts to fight back. It's like a file that has to like, load, and it's
and
like
it doesn't reach in time.
99%, but it sits at that 99% for
while someone's robbing you. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So yeah, both times. I've knock wood. I've never been like confronted with physical violence directly at me in a situation like that.
Let's see. I'm still racking my brain for a time.
It's okay if you don't have one. It's okay.
Oh, I mean, when I got jumped, I ran.
Okay.
I flighted.
Fled.
And then I fought.
Okay. Like he chased you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he started trying to rob me, and I ran across Broad Street, which is like the main street in Philly. And there's like, it's a 6-lane road basically with like a cement barrier in the middle.
Right.
And I ran across it, and I was making some ground because I just ran into traffic, like in the middle of traffic.
Right.
Taxis had to like stop and honk at me, almost hitting me.
Right.
So I was like, that bought me a little bit of time because they have to like weave in between the cars too. And then I started to slow down, and that's when they caught up with me, and he hit me in the back of the head, and I fell on the ground. And when I started to get back up, that's when my fight kicked in, and I grabbed the suitcase and I started gesturing it wildly, and they didn't know that it was empty, so they probably thought there was stuff in it, and the way I picked it up was enough that I was like, yeah, I could hurt you.
Like I am strong enough to lift a suitcase with one arm kind of thing?
Yeah, and like I don't know, it was enough of a weapon where they got scared, because the kid was like 14.
Yeah,
he was bigger than me. So
yes.
I started using that, and so that was my flight and fight at once.
Right. Okay, interesting.
But I'm trying to think of another one.
That's plenty.
Have you ever had slow motion?
No.
In a situation? Like I remember,
I've never been in a situation like that.
Not like that, and just in general, like a traumatic situation. 'Cause I remember we were going somewhere with my mom, my grandparents were in the car, my siblings were in the car, and then my mom's friend from college and her kid, her kids weren't in the car. My mom's friend from college was in the car, and or in a different car. Sorry, I'm bad at telling stories, everyone. I apologize, chat. She was in the car in front of us, driving her own vehicle, and this isn't like a country road where like one is like essentially a highway, but it's a 2-lane highway where it's just one lane on each side.
Right.
And this was like basically one of the main roads to get into town. But that intersected with this kind of highway.
Okay.
And there should have been a traffic light there, and there's not. Still to this day, I don't think there is. And so she just turned and just didn't see, and just bam, got T-boned real bad.
Right.
And I remember seeing it in slow motion because I heard the screeching brakes, and then I saw the boom. So that was pretty scary.
No one got hurt.
She went to the hospital, but she recovered. Damn. But that was like a slow motion thing.
Oh, I see. I thought you were like you were confronted with a situation and you're moving in slow motion. You're talking about something crazy happens and you watch it and it feels like you're watching it happen in slow motion.
Yes.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but that's a good one. Good story.
I feel like I'm getting less freeze over time.
Me too.
As I was talking about we rehashed the you getting too fucked up at Skankfest, and that was a more fight situation because I was actively trying to get you out of it. Whereas I think if I had been I became a man about it. Whereas I felt like a couple of years before, I would not have been able to confront it as much.
That's someone that you love and trust, though, that you're interacting with. I consider that a completely different situation, which is like if something, I mean, it happened on fucking Saturday or Sunday or whatever, where I was like, all right, everything's going to be fine. I'm in charge. Just follow my lead and I got you. It's kind of what you did for me at that Skankfest. And
I think I'm a fight guy. I got in a fight at a bar in Hoboken.
Yeah, but that's not fight or flight. You just are a fighter. You just fight with people.
I'm an asshole.
You just get in fights with people when you're drunk. Yeah, that's
Harrington, call the guy.
I would act the same way in that situation. Whereas, like, if someone was like trying to beat me up, that's like I don't know how to read I'm not good at reading strangers, and I also try not to.
Except you autism, me blind.
I just try to not assume the worst in people.
Right.
I like kind of hate people who like go through the world as if everyone's out to get them at all times, because mostly people are not, you know. But like in a situation where it might become physical, that's like a detriment to me.
Okay, I have a flight story.
Okay.
Kinda. So this was when I was hanging out with Tom of Fishtown.
Right.
Notoriety. We were hanging out at the Mummers Parade.
Yeah.
And he had given me mushrooms.
Right.
And it was fine. It wasn't like I was tripping, but I wasn't like geeked.
Yeah.
But I was, and so they were trying to figure out a bar to go to after the parade was over, and I was like, it's funny, I actually have a friend from college who bartends in South Philly, not too far from where we are. Maybe I could text him, see if he could hook us up.
Sure.
Because like all the bars were going to be filled. So
yeah,
I was just
going
to see if he could like, you know, save some room for us or whatever. And I hit him up and he was like, yeah, I got you guys. And so we went to this bar and I was waiting in line for the bathroom. And I had said to the guy in front of me, I was like, what did I say? It was like, I thought he was the security guard.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, this must be a crazy night for you, huh? Or something like that. Because I thought he was the security guard because he was standing next to the bathroom. I didn't realize there was a line. And he was like, what the fuck did you say to me? And I was like, I'm sorry. I just meant like there's a lot going on tonight. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know. And then the other guy came out of the bathroom and I went in. Turns out that was his buddy. I guess he told the guy what I said, and they started banging on the door, being like, come out, pussy, come out. The fuck did you say? Come out. And I was like, what, guys, I didn't mean anything, but like, I wasn't trying to offend you or say anything like, I'm sorry. And I walked away and I went up to my friend who was the bartender. I'm like, hey, I accidentally said something to him that they interpreted as like fighting words. I didn't mean it like that. Please, I don't want to fight. I don't know if you can, however we can diffuse this, if you could help, please. And then I went outside to the bouncer and I told him the same thing. I'm like, hey, I said these words. I didn't think they would get interpreted this way. Please try to diffuse this if you can. So that was a flight. And it did. We never end up fighting, but that was where I got like.
That was a good way to handle that.
Yeah.
Because if you fought, that would be fight. That would be a fight.
Yeah, so I kind of fled in that situation.
That's good. I think you handled that well.
And Tom was there for that. I want to see if Tom remembers that.
You've never told me that story. You talk about the Mummers Parade sometimes, but I've never heard that story before.
And then, so later on that we became we actually started talking after that. Like,
cool.
He joined our circle of talking.
Oh, chill. That's chill.
It was like Tom, Laura, LeBenz.
Yeah.
And like Tom's brother, I think, was there.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I can't find my vape. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you can hit mine. But
nice.
he hit my vape and he's like, do you know where it is? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. Please don't fight me.
This is not the same. This is not the same situation, but I used to work, I'm sure I've talked about this before, and we can wrap after this. Unless you have anything else. But I, for like 10 years, I worked at my dad's bar on the day of the Pride Parade, taking covers and putting wristbands on people and shit. And there was once I must have been like 20. And he was like, we're going to have you stand by the back door and you just don't let anyone come in this way and don't let anyone leave with drinks. And I'm like, cool, that makes sense. And then the whole day I was like, I'm a bouncer now. He put my child ass in front of the door
to talk to gay adults.
There was most of the time people just go, hey, can I come in? And I go, the front door's that way. And they go, cool. Or I go, hey, you can't leave with that. And they go, sick. And they chug it.
But
like, most people are cool.
But what happens if they weren't, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm saying that there was two times that people went, I went, you can't come in this way. And they went, cool. Shove me aside. Go in. Twice.
Rude.
All day. And I worked for like 10 hours. So that's like pretty good averages.
Good numbers.
The second time I was like, I bet it was a straight appearing couple. And I didn't have like a staff shirt on or anything. I was just wearing Pride gear. You know, I was wearing a bunch of rainbows, whatever. But I didn't have a shirt that said the duplex on it. So it was toward the end of the day, this couple that I swear to God is underage comes in. And I happen to see someone who works there, and I go, not only did they not pay the cover, but I'm pretty sure they're underage.
Uh-oh.
And so that was me handling it. You know, I talk to the bartender, I go, ID them and make them pay the cover. And then later on, I just like happen to be standing by that door. They were not underage. They were like freshly 21.
Oh.
And they did go around and end up paying the cover. And then they just like happened to be by my door later in the day, and they're like, you work here? We just thought you were a snitch.
Damn.
I'm like, you think I'm standing here not drinking anything for fun?
The fucking tattly at it again.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly.
God damn.
Anyway, that's all I have.
Tattly
not really related.
Strikes. Is Jorge in there by chance?
Yo, Jorge.
He's here, yes.
Jorge, speaking of IDs and being underage, check it out.
Yeah, don't show all your info. He found it, and here's the funny thing is that I've known where it's been for weeks because it was on our windowsill in our bedroom, and I can see it when I wake up in the morning.
Was he using it to cut rails or something?
He alleges that he needed a picture of it against a light background, and that was the only light background he could find was the windowsill.
Not a lamp, not a ceiling light, not anything else?
No, like a white background.
He's being retarded.
You have a white background.
So...
I liked it.
Get
him some cookies like the Regz.
So I feel bad that Mike has been searching for his ID for like a month, and I knew where it was, and it just didn't occur to me. I'm like, surely he knows that thing is here, and it must not be that one must be expired or something. Like there must be a reason that his ID is on the windowsill, and he found it today.
Well, before we go, one little nugget from rap I'll leave us with.
Sure.
A little bit of drama is a brewing with Ben Avery of Lemon Party and Jeff Dye.
Okay.
Apparently, they're at odds.
I heard. What were they fighting about?
Ben Avery just keeps calling him out as like a phony.
Oh.
He thinks he's like a grifter, fake Christian guy.
Okay.
They just had a debate last night, and Ben Avery threw up the white flag because he embarrassed himself.
Really? He pulled a Josie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jorge was telling me about
That's
this before
unexpected.
We started. That's crazy to pick a fight with somebody and not finish it.
Yeah, he got absolutely cucked, and so then he had to do a whole apology.
Damn.
Wow.
It was like Adam Friedland versus Destiny. That's crazy.
Who won in that?
Why did he throw up the white flag? How did he get cucked?
He just did a shit job at debating.
Yeah, he lost the bit and then became real, and so he lost for real. And so he's like, well, I'm not making this funny anymore.
Ooh.
Well, yeah. So Jeff Dye's whole thing is like he talks shit on like comedians and stuff. Like he'll like trash like Steph Taleb and like people who have never like heard a fly. He'll just like they catch strays.
Sounds like he's a piece of shit.
And then, but also Ben Avery's whole Lewis is like, well, where does this really come from? And he's like, I don't like when people try too hard at being themselves instead of actually putting on a good performance. I don't like it on stage. And it's like, all right, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, I guess there's something that can be said for that.
But how do you? There's no measurement of there's no
being
measurement of
authentic.
someone's character in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no
Yes.
moral superiority in saying that.
Yeah, it's just like if you're funny or if you're not funny.
That's a completely subjective take.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's it on the number. Make sure you blur out my ID.
You were covering it. We're good.
Good numbers.
I think this has been Gas Digital Now, the Gas Digital
Guys,
wrap-up show.
The Instagram is back, so follow the @GasDigital Instagram. Follow Gas Digital on Twitter and TikTok. While the Instagram was down, we made a TikTok. So, I mean, if you want to support us there, please, by all means, can't hurt.
Yeah.
Follow the Gas Digital YouTube channel. We hit 70,000 subscribers. And I'm posting the Cabo video shortly.
Yes.
And remember, if you want to see all of the episodes that we covered today, ad-free and uncensored and pre-released, subscribe to gasdigital.com and use our code NOW to get a sweet little discount on your membership. But also, let's get us to 3,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel @Gas Digital Now, so that we can do that all-tell lie detector test.
Sure. Oh, if you want to see I was kind of saving it for a week that we don't have an episode coming out, but our Q&A that we did a couple months ago. Make some noise in the comments if you like actually want to see that. I'll post it.
Yeah.
On and off, like on a day that we don't do.
And I'll say this. I'm going to come up with a number in my head, okay? It has to be somewhere over 2,000. But
Okay.
somewhere beyond 2,000 subscribers, we'll try to get Lewis on. I'll really push to get Lewis on.
I've just been waiting for a time that something fucking crazy happens. Like the next time there's a
Yeah, we need to give him an incentive to subscribe.
Totally. Yes, you're right.
So random. No one gets to know.
No one
Only
gets
up
to know.
here.
I was gonna say something and I lost it. Damn it. Oh, our new premiere time on YouTube has been moved. I believe 4 p.m. on Sundays, and the live
Sunday fun day.
Yeah, the live premiere did way better than it had been doing on Saturdays. So I think we're gonna stick with that. Natalie DeChico edits on Instagram. That Blind Mike on Instagram. Dom, you want to plug anything? Follow Fart Carnival and Part of the Problem clips on YouTube. That's all we got. Anything else?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Natalie DeChico on Venmo. Bye, everyone.